Hello, I am IceBeast, and welcome back to Spelunky. So today, I'm gonna talk to you about net neutrality, which is something important to me. I've grown up in the internet generation, or maybe slightly the pre-internet generation, but free and open internet where I can do what I want, basically, is something that's important to me, and net neutrality is part of that. So what is net neutrality? Net neutrality basically says that you can surf the internet via your provider, your internet provider, how you would like, and your provider won't block or slow down or in any way tamper with websites you go to. And in general, it means based on the websites you are going, or the traffic you are sending. So they won't, the classic example is of non-net neutrality is that you'll go to your provider may want to slow down, let's say, Netflix, because Netflix is very bandwidth intensive, but we would be perfectly willing to let you go to Google or whatever, because, you know, doing a Google search is not. A more devious example, and this is what people are more worried about, is that, you know, a provider may slow down Netflix because the provider also owns a television studio and they don't want you to be watching their competitors' stuff. Those are two possible examples of what it means to not have net neutrality. So the question is well, what is it like today? And generally, for most Western countries, I shouldn't say this completely, there's a lot of countries in the world where you cannot do anything on the internet, and that's part of what my full-time job work is about. Oh, I really wanted Monty. Oh, I have plenty of ropes, I'm gonna get Monty. So that's basically what my full-time job is about, which is trying to help out people in those countries where they can't just view the internet completely freely. But in most countries right now, you can go and view any website you want, and that will be streamed to you or sent to you without any sort of tampering or modification or slowing or dropping. Because that's what net neutrality is. Because people have been fighting for net neutrality in the past. And so basically what this means, a good analogy that I like to use is that the current internet is a lot like a freeway system, where you pay for entry. In most freeway systems, it's either based, on tolls, or you actually pay based on gasoline, which is based on usage. At least that's the theory. So what the people at the cable, or that the internet providers want to do, is they want to make it more of a private road system. So they feel they paid for the infrastructure, and they should have control over how the infrastructure is used. I did not see that guy at all. That was a complete just stupid mistake to do. But I'm gonna just keep going. So yeah, they feel that they paid for the roads, so they should be able to say who can use the roads and when they can use the roads and where they can go. I mean, this analogy falls apart just a little bit because, well, roads only go to where they go. Oh, I'm dead. But that's sort of a general analogy of what the current situation is. And there is some merit to the providers' arguments. They did pay for the roads, or in this case, the infrastructure. And internet infrastructure is not cheap. And so they do deserve some sort of, control over what happens on their roads, so to speak. But the problem comes in when it becomes anti-competitive. And generally, I feel this will be bad for consumers in the long run. This isn't good. Sorry, just focusing on what I'm doing right now. So yes, I don't think this will be good for consumers in the long run. I think this has a lot of potential to do damage, and I'll explain why. Did I just kill Monty? No. So the problem here is that cable companies say if they can control who gets to use the roads, they can make the content providers pay more. The content providers in turn will pay more to give us better service. That means we can do more on our infrastructure, which means the customer will get better infrastructure and quality service, and everyone will be happy. The problem is that this is not the history we have lived in. Past events have shown us that when these things sort of seem to happen, there is some benefit to the customer, but a lot of times it is paired with negative consequences. I am really not paying attention. Yep. So yeah, a lot of times it's paired with negative consequences, and the biggest negative consequence I could see here is the difference between small content producers and large content producers. So basically, what will happen is internet providers will charge content producers for the right to not be slowed down, basically, to get to their traffic there at full speed. The problem is that not everyone's gonna be able to afford that. Small producers won't be able to afford that, and large producers will. And what we'll see, or this is my prediction at least, is that the large producers will be really happy with this, because they can basically corner the market and push out small producers. And the way they do this is, come on, hate bats. The way you accomplish this is by making deals with the producers to not get their content slowed down, while the poorer people who can't afford that do get their content slowed down, and only the big companies win. And what I feel will end up happening is we'll see, only YouTube and only Netflix around, and their competitors will be pushed out of the market and be out of business at that point. And you won't have any option. You won't have a Vimeo option or other options to Netflix. And I don't think that's a good thing for competition. I don't think it drives innovation. I think the openness of the internet is what drove the ability to create a YouTube, or even a Yahoo, or a Google, and all of those, internet, great examples of internet innovation. And I think restrictions on this will reduce that ability to create innovation, and will make basically a have class and a have not class, a class that can do things on the internet in terms of creating new businesses and trying new ideas, and a class that will not be able to do that. So now, once again, I want to get back to the cable company point of view real quick, which the cable company's argument is that this won't affect your normal user. Their argument is that the cost will only be passed on to the companies, and the companies will, and those companies will eat the cost. A little scared. Those companies will eat the cost, and all the user will be getting is better service. The things they want to see won't be damaged in any way. The money will be turned back into the infrastructure, and everybody will be happy. I don't think this is what's going to happen. I think we're going to actually end up, if we go down this road, very much like the cable companies exist now, where basically you pay for different tiers of service. So you'll pay for your YouTube tier and your that sucks. And you'll pay for your, if you need to use Netflix, you'll get your Netflix tier and whatever, and you'll be just as unhappy with the cable company as you are now. So you may be wondering why the heck I am even talking about this, besides the fact that I said it's important to me. And well, the reason I'm talking about this is there was a recent case here in the United States in federal court where basically a federal judge ruled that the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, could not force net neutrality, the current net neutrality standards on Verizon, the litigant, but in all providers in general, because they didn't classify them as common carriers. And what the cable companies came out and said was, without so many words, is it basically said that if you try to classify us as common carriers, we're going to make sure that you have no budget. It's just something they basically can do because their lobby is incredibly strong. And we can talk about money and politics on a later episode, but for now, just realize that we'll take that threat as valid and correct. That they could basically completely destroy the FCC. So the crux of this ruling, and just to add insult to injury, I should say, the FCC came out and said they're not going to challenge the ruling, and they're going to draft new guidelines. It should be added that the current director of the FCC is a former cable person, I believe. And so, yeah, let's not talk about conflict of interest at all. Maybe I'll have another episode on conflict of interest and money in politics. But for now, just want to keep this on net neutrality. So anyway, basically, because of all this that's come out so far, I would argue that net neutrality is basically on its deathbed. It's not dead. And some of you may not be in the US and be thinking, you know, what happens in the US doesn't matter to me. I would strongly disagree. I think the US still has extreme control over the internet. And what we do, others will follow. And you should also not be too blinded by what your countries are already doing to restrict the internet. A lot of countries that we would call free actually do a lot of things on internet restrictions. So I think this is a bellwether of things to come if we don't do anything about it. And so, you know, what do I think you should do about it? Well, if you are an American, you should probably yell at your Congress people, but if you're not an American, you should yell at your own government and make a big stink in general. That's the only way we seem to get anything done. Because I think that nobody wants to live in a world where the internet is cable. Now, I do want to just add one final point, which I sort of made earlier, which is that the cable companies we can't just assassinate the cable companies, or, you know, go on a pogrom or whatever to get rid of the cable companies. The cable companies I mean, I'm still a capitalist, and I believe that, you know, the cable companies did expend a lot of resources to build this infrastructure, and they do deserve some control over it. I just don't believe that basically stifling innovation is the way of going about it. And of course the cable companies argue they're not stifling innovation, and the whole thing's overblown. But I think history tells us differently. I don't know what the cable companies should get, and I in some sense I do think that I've had a lot of thought about if cable should be a public utility or not, and we can have a different discussion about the privatization of public utilities, which is basically what's happened here. But God, I really need to stop saying This is the problem of trying to have a serious conversation while also playing a very difficult video game. But that is neither here nor there. This is the medium I have chosen to try to talk about net neutrality, and it's up to me to be prepared to do it. And I did it right there. Anyway, I think I've said pretty much all I want to say about net neutrality. I hope if people are interested in net neutrality, I hope I hope everybody realizes how important net neutrality is, because I'm a firm believer that it is one of the chief reasons that the internet exists as it does today, and I think it would be a very bad decision to not have the internet be like it is today. Oh, come on. But so I hope you understand what net neutrality means. Isn't the key up there? Did I leave the key up there? Anyway, I'm gonna finish my thought on net neutrality. That's basically what I have to say about net neutrality, is that I think it's very important. I hope you guys also feel it's important, and I hope you take an action on it, and that's all I'm gonna say about net neutrality now. Now I'm just gonna play. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of this run. I'll probably die pretty hard. Oh, I do feel, I just will quickly add that if you have comments or thoughts about net neutrality, please leave a comment just to say, you know, oh, you're an idiot, that's not how it works, or I totally agree, and here's a way to take action, you know, or anything along those lines. That would be great. Anyway, we're gonna come over here and get this stuff real quick. We'll take the Matic with us. hopefully we'll be able to make it to the jungle at least. I don't want to play for Monty. Got plenty of bombs, that's good. We got paste, we got a Matic. I think we're doing pretty good in general. May have to split this episode up into multi-episodes if I actually make it far, but we all know that's not going to happen. I'd also, if anybody is actually watching these, I would love to get ideas for other episodes that you would like to just talk about. I realize I don't have a very big audience, and I don't expect a lot of people are going to watch my latest episode on this episode on net neutrality. But you know, I'm just going to talk about things that are important to me and that I find interesting in general, and that's how it's going to be. And if people watch, they watch, and if they don't watch, they don't watch. That's basically how I've always wanted to go about my YouTube plan. And I also have a stream now that people come and watch, they watch, and if they don't, they don't, and that's, again, what I want to do. Now, I don't plan on having all these be so serious. I kind of like being more jovial, just cracking jokes with my friends and just, having a good time, but when things are important to me, sometimes you have to be serious. Made it to the jungle, to the jungle. Maybe we can make it, oh, Grandfather Frog. I don't think I can do anything about that frog. Oh, another, you can't do that. That's cool. Got a new character. Get new characters. Yeah, he's going to town trying to kill things. If anyone sees the black market, please tell me. That's a piranha. No, that's not a piranha. That is a frog, though. Why am I floating? Well, now I'm dead. Why was I floating? Does the Matic make you float? I don't know. Well, anyways, thank you very much for watching. That's my thoughts on net neutrality. I probably missed something, and you may correct me or whatnot. But I hope people do take some sort of action. And yeah, that's it. So once again, thank you very much for watching.